Are coming out in just a few seconds. I actually favor FURIA to win this game. I know that Beastcoast is the better team, but you picked Lina and the Nyx. This has to be the most godlike Nyx game of all time. Silencer, Snapfire, Lina. Not particularly bad versus Centaur or Terrorblade either. So we're going to see a link at the rune. Whisper take it, just a little whip to the ass, you know, nothing major. Did you like watching that, Gods?
You know, some people are into that kind of stuff.
I was
I'm not here to judge.
Just trying to get the vibes, you know?
Yeah, normally I'm not watching, I'm taking part, but, you know, I'm happy to watch every now and then.
Jesus. That was actually a completely different direction than I thought you'd go with that, but I respect it, man.
All right.
To each his own, you know?
Yep. So, I mean, Chris Luck is going to be put to the test here. He is playing Lina into, well, not so much in the lane maybe, but in the game itself against Spectre, against Nyx Assassin, Mars. So many heroes that will threaten to kill him.
Yeah, bottom lane, Layla's actually taking a lot of damage as they level Reflection level 1. I don't think I've seen a Terrorblade take Reflection pre-level 10 for the last 4 or 5 games I've watched him. So a bit of a different approach from Hector here. That's strange to me just because that ability doesn't farm.
It's Hector, too.
Yeah, that ability does not make you kill creeps faster. That's a bit strange, but...
This is also not a Hector hero. You were not expecting him to be playing TB.
Yeah, I called Faceless Void because out of all the heroes left, I didn't know anything else he played. I've never seen... I think I've played, if I had to guess, probably 100 pubs with or against Hector, and I've never seen him play Terrorblade. So I'm not saying he can't play it, but I just... don't know how good he is at this hero. It seems to fit his playstyle in terms of farming, but he's much more of a aggressive Radiance builders, like heroes that can participate in the game, but they still just buy a Radiance. Are you queued up his Dota buff right now?
I'm queued up his Dota buff. Seeing the TB stats, 12 games in his competitive career, 33% win rate.
Wow.
And 2.76 KDA, which is pretty bad.
Some heroes just don't work, you know, like meaning for each player individually. Yep. There are a few carries in my day that I just, for whatever reason, I practice them just as much as I practice those other heroes, and it just did not make sense in my head. Silencer actually goes for the range creep bottom. I thought they were going to go on him. Sorry. They were committing the Nyx Impale, but they did not elect to use the God's Rebuke as well as the Spear. K1 does pop the meta. Doing pretty well for himself, 11-2. So is the Lina. This Razor, last pick, or shall I say, you know, in response to the Lina, is losing the mid lane.
Yeah. And how much of the Razor pick do you think was in response to the Lina versus just the game, though? Because would you even say Razor's really a counter for Lina?
I think Razor is more so a counter to, like, these melee carries. But Terrorblade is not a quote-unquote melee carry.
Nice spear back. They're going to get the kill on Laylos in the bottom
might
lane.
Clean him up. That curse is doing a lot of damage. I think he used a couple spells, but he's going to be just fine. Salve up. Terrorblade's fine with this, though, to be honest. The lane's pushing into him. The enemy heroes had to use a lot of mana to kill that Silencer. Yeah, it's going to bolster up the Mars a little bit, but that's not affecting Hector's timings, right?
Yeah, he's farming. He does not go for the Ring of Trass that we've seen most TB players go for. Instead, opting for a very early little band of Elven Skin. Is that what it's called?
Yes. I don't particularly mind this because I don't think he's going to be laning very much longer. Once Mars hits 6, he's out of here. And Hector doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's going to be fighting a lot in the mid game. Okay. So Ring of Tarrasque for this specific player and this specific lane doesn't really make much sense to me. They are going to go on him here. Ring of Tarrasque may have paid off in this given scenario. Is shared a Tango from Laylos. Has the headdress aura. He's still sitting at 12 HP regen with that Tango going, so it's not like he is suffering on the regen department.
Yeah. And TB, decent against the Mars because of all your high base armor. You're not as susceptible to physical damage, but the magic damage, something you've got to be a bit careful of. The Impale, the Spear. He's going to look to turn and fight with the Curse here and the Reflection. This Nyx Assassin is going to go down.
+2, baby. I'm not going to lie, this Mars build, I saw him do something similar last game. I think the God's Rebuke has a lot of merit to maxing it, or at least putting that extra point in level 3, but against Terrorblade, as you mentioned, that's the physical damage spell. The other one's the magic damage spell, so that's a bit strange to me, to be honest with you, in this specific matchup.
Yep. And TB, you can see by the CS, has not really been contested. A big part of that has been Laylos and the way he's played this lane. Top lane Phoenix, nice cookie into stun. Beastcoast get a kill for Whisper.
Now that I look at this draft, I actually hate this Razor pick. So maybe I like Beastcoast draft. So far, they're doing pretty decent in the laning stage. I do think the Spectre could be a potential issue later on, and I do think it's the most godlike Nyx game in history, but that's a 4 position. It's not like that's a core with a free game that's going to just win the game for you.
Dive in top.
Nice rotation by Chris Luck. I don't think they expected this.
He wants to fight the bounty runes, gets a 2-man LSA into a 2-man hoof stomp.
Oh, he's so close to 6 on Chris Luck, so that would have been the kill.
Either of these heroes could be going down, but they do secure the bounty rune at least. Elsewhere, FURIA, I believe, got both the bottom ones. Now, K1 in a bit of trouble here. He's looking to run away. Aiko trying to chase a little bit further, not going to commit underneath the tower. K1, whoa, he just looped back around, and there's an Impale. He's got to dodge this one. Could be in trouble if he doesn't. He gets hit by it and goes down.
Hey, but is this a +2 for Laylas here?
It's
racking
like
up that stolen hint, but did he miss?
I think he missed, yeah.
Oh, no.
That uphill miss.
That's a disaster.
Is he going to chase for another curse? No. So K1 does go down. Not the worst death for him. It's kind of just resets his health and mana. He can kind of come back to
I believe
lane
he should
afresh.
be done. I can't believe he's coming back here. I guess he has no mana he has no regen on him. He has no tangos, no nothing. So I have to imagine he's most likely going to stay here for a minute or two longer and then dip the F out. I wouldn't imagine this is a good scenario for him. That God's Rebuke, even though he's a Terrorblade, did a significant chunk of damage. And that's a pretty low cooldown. He has really no way of threatening the Mars unless he's trying to kill him with the Metamorphosis. Does elect to take the second point in his Conjure image, which implies he's going to probably be looking to farm. Maybe just pressuring the tower with this Catapult.
Yeah,
despite that death, does have a very good start.
Yep. Has a decent-sized creep wave here to push with, so it seems like he wants to go for the tier 1 tower. Missing that range creep. Come on, K1 Hector, get your head in the game.
Yeah.
That's not the kind of CSing we expect from you.
Yeah, you love how I'm like, is he staying here to pressure with the catapult? Then he just walks away. That's why I was confused. I'm like, why is he here? And then he just leaves when the catapults is there. So I guess they were like, we're going to pressure. And then, no, I guess I'm just a level 5 Terrorblade. Doesn't really do much this early on in the game. Going to use that meta to hit some neutrals for about a second. That was a very poor use of meta, if you ask me.
Yes. Not ideal. Maybe Nyx wouldn't have TP'd back if they didn't meta to push with the siege creep? I don't know. At the same time, I don't know where else Nyx would have gone.
Maybe top, but at the same time, you don't. Not really going to try to gank for a Spectre Phoenix. I think they're pretty chill up here. Spectre doing just fine. 29 CS. Both cores in the top lane, farming to their heart's content.
Yep. As for the mid lane matchup, the Lina Razor, you mentioned how Razor was doing poorly. That's not really changed. Lina still ahead, hitting level 8 now. Razor's net worth, you can see there, not in the top 5. A full 1,000 net worth, almost behind. About 800, let's be fair to Razor. But he's already back in the jungle, trying to catch up.
Yeah, that was the counter pick mid. That's the most notable thing. Maybe Lina has merit as in like a preventing getting counterpicked mid. I'd much rather have a hero like Kunkka that's reliably going to get their farm just because they eventually scale with tankiness. Lina, just a hard hero to make work. He is queuing up the Shadow Blade first. No Yule Scepter, so almost certainly going to build into a Silver Edge later against the Mars plus Spectre. We do see an Arena pop bottom. Nice spear plus the Impale, and he's going to go down. Yep. That's just a support, though, but a nice kill nonetheless.
It's kind of the classic carry leaves lane to jungle, support takes over the lane, and
feeds.
Just feeds.
Yeah, pretty standard. That's technically space. You know, you're tanking the gank in the sense that they're going to take the tower if you're not there, and if you let the tower go, they'll probably invade your carry's farm afterwards.
Yep. You're just trying to keep that bottom tier 1 tower alive as long as possible.
Bottle refill mid. Laylas this is a staple for him after the last 2 games I've watched. Feed bottom, TP mid, and fill the bottle. Right on schedule, Chris Luck. Probably beginning to expect this in his farming patterns when it comes to knowing exactly how much mana he can spend on those creep waves.
Everything according to the Beastcoast script, at least as far as what we saw last game. It's not quite the lead they had last game. We saw them kind of crush the lanes and win all 3.
That wasn't very fun, though.
Yeah. This is the fun, let's appease the fans script.
Yes, yes.
K1 coming back in the lane here. He is farming just fine on the Terrorblade. Him and Chris Luck, the 1-2 punch of Beastcoast, off to a hot start.
Baited Brooch on Razor. That's a nice item for that hero.
That's a nice item for everything.
Yeah, I was about to say it. I think
the best
Razor's
tier
one of the
item,
upper
right?
tier heroes for it, though. It's definitely better on Razor than average, but I agree. I don't think there's a single hero in the game where I'm like, damn it, got a Fated Brooch.
It just gives so much mana, and then it also gives movement speed. Like,
Yep.
If it gave one or the other, you'd be like, it's kind of like it's a tier 9. That's what it's meant to, and then it gives you both.
They should definitely nerf it to like 20 back, but nerf it back to 20. That was a little too. They at one point buffed it from 20 to 25, and I'm like, that was already a good item. That's a free Windlace. There's heroes that buy value Windlaces in the early game, and it's a better version of a Windlace with the movement speed alone, and then the 200 mana is just a. I think you'd take. I think people would carry this item if it didn't have the mana. Like that's the crazy part about it.
And the bonus move speed with the % increase from boots, it's effectively giving you even more movement.
Yeah, it's about
speed,
30 at that point, and that's just so value on so many heroes. Farming pattern speeds, chase potential, escape potential. A lot of little things that it adds to. Spectre, going the standard Soul Ring Radiance build. Does have Haunt available if they want to look to make something happen. Nyx, not quite level 6 yet, does have the tome flown to him, so he will dig first. Value. Picks up a TB scroll for himself, actually saving himself a lot of gold there in this patch. Does pop the Vendetta. He's looking, but they did just see him, and they had a Radiant Ward there, so they have to be a little bit suspicious. Top lane, bit of aggression coming out. Duster still level 5. Nyx giving him the reach around. Is Layla's going to pay the price? Salves up!
Oh, just in time, too. He's hunting. He's coming. He may go for the center instead. Whisper's got to be
a free kill, honestly.
Careful. Yep, slows him with the dagger. He's not looking to commit to this one.
Why isn't he?
Thinking twice. Schofield's here as well. Beastcoast actually have some decent numbers themselves, and
that ult does pure damage. It's a lot of damage.
Heiko with this sentry. Yeah, there we go. They're baiting him. They knew they could. Oh, he gets the carapace off right before the Cookie Sun hits. They should still have this kill, though, it looks like. As Heiko manages to juke around, still alive. The Stampede being committed here. Schofield, can he kill him off? He drops the ultimate, but it's going to be a Nyx assassin just standing in nice and close. Cancels the Mortimers to give him the shotgun and brings him down. Mars, meanwhile, died to Lina. That was down bottom, I believe, as Chris Luck. Shadowblade reveal, perhaps. There was a tier 1 tower claim, so Mars kind of maybe overcommitting for the tier 1 tower.
Terrorblade popping meta to farm Ancients. That's the Hector we know and love. Not terribly odd. A lot of people do that, but just something about Hector doing it means more to me than most times. I will say this Nyx Assassin skill build is, in Grant's words, incredibly sus to me. I understand they have a lot of mana heroes.
Wow.
But that is just, in my opinion, peculiar. And I'll leave it at that.
Peculiar suggests you just don't understand.
It's just outside of my scope of understanding. It's so good. That's what I would probably say.
You'll let the viewers infer what they need to infer.
Yeah, it's like I see that the W here, the mana burn's quite nice, but isn't Carapace just insanely good against all of these heroes? And at this stage in the game, it's just better. I feel like I'd be 2-0-3 right now.
Well, that's what I was about to say. It's like not even that. It's the fact, not just the fact he has 2 points. It's the fact he has 1 point, which is surprising.
I wouldn't even level it. Yeah. Spectre does go down to Chris Luck, invading the jungle there with the aid of the Snapfire's Cookie there. Too busy fixated on this odd Nyx support that is scouting the enemy jungle, but that's not where they are. They're in their jungle, killing their carry.
They're understanding where to play on the map, and Spectre perhaps overstaying her welcome. Normally you think, okay, I've still got my tier 1 top tower, my tier 1 mid tower. I'm safe in my jungle up here, but with the Shadowblade, they're just very good at invading and finding those.
Not gonna lie, I think the way FURIA is playing the map right now is just really bad. I actually don't know how else to say it. The fact that your Mars is taking the incredibly safe farm bottom, he's your playmaker. This is where Spectre should be, because that's not where any of the action's gonna happen. Bottom lane, Radiant's not going there. They have the lead. They're gonna play around mid and top. So Spectre wants to play away from the fights while she's farming and then push ult to show up to the fights. The fact that Mars is playing bottom, Spectre's in her own jungle, that's why she's dying on the Spectre. So that's just a bit, in my opinion, textbook. Like, it doesn't seem complicated. I think it's just normal for carry heroes to migrate to that part of the map, especially one that can just show up to the fight at any point. Now he's gone to the triangle, farming the Ancients, but without that Necrobug build, Spectre is quite the underwhelming Ancient farmer.
Another hero I'd kind of forgotten is in this game is the Razor, which is not a good sign because this is one of their cores, and he's been very quiet, 0-0-0. If you're getting some farm, that's one thing, but at the same time, you're job is not just to farm and hit creeps this game. You're playing with a Spectre on your team. You need to be doing more to create space. That's exactly what Sexy Fat's doing. With the help of Heiko, they get themselves a kill onto a Schofield support. Nice little pick-off. They need a lot more of this, though.
Global?
Yeah. Looking to protect the Lina here. There is a Mars Arena, which is why they popped that one, but he is going to get speared into it. Now the Spectre Horn comes into play. The Global was used knowing that this could happen, but unfortunately it's not enough to save him. The Supernova now being committed as well, and here we go. FURIA committing to a big team fight, and they get some results. If they can get K1, that's going to be huge for them. Unfortunately, there's a Sunder. He turns, doesn't have any right-click damage to back it up, and he may be in some trouble. He's still with the nuke damage here. Can they chase him down? The Spectre is going to dagger on after, but it looks like he's going to get back to the safety of his tower, and the Mortimer's Kids is coming in from Schofield. He's doing work here. He's going to cookie on and catches the Phoenix under the tower, and with the help of the tower, he's going to get the kill. Schofield gets 2. Whisper's going to dodge himself with the spear. The bounty rune on the ground. Sexy Fat wins the race for it. Whisper's hunting, wants to maybe go for another stun, but it's on cooldown for 10 more seconds. He's getting pushed back by Sexy Fat, who's going to secure himself another bounty rune. FURIA not only get an okay fight, get themselves some bounties, but the cookie, ooh, didn't quite catch up to him. And they back off A-okay. Good fight for FURIA. I'll take another quick look at it here. It's the early global silence being used. Lina really needed to get a kill off of that. Unfortunately, the second the global wore off, there was just nothing to protect her.
Yeah, he is going straight for the BKB. I think that's completely necessary on the Lina, because I don't know how you possibly play to avoid the Mars just killing you. Like, the Mars is going to arena around you and kill you. So definitely like that if he's going to go for the Shadow Blade, that he goes straight for the BKB afterwards. Heiko scouting out bottom as we're back to the live game here. Gets the stun plus the gets the Vendetta plus the Impale, and feeds the kill to a Spectre. Going to speed up that radiance just a tad.
Right up. They have a kill here on Schofield.
With that ass.
Slow, not enough.
Whenever people run away from me, it just looks so funny to me when I'm static linking them. And they might catch the Lina stun here. Oh, the jukes.
Yep, jukes it. Now the stun comes in, and uh-oh, it's another Mars initiation. Lina once again getting caught in this arena, and this game has completely turned on its head.
What a weird game.
Had that good start. They were winning most of the lanes and farming, but as soon as these team fights started happening, we see how strong this Mars is and how susceptible this Lina is to winning her lane and then kind of losing the team fights. I mean, I don't want to say losing the game because this is still a very even game, but Lina's a hero definitely known for falling off after the laning stage.
I will highlight that just playing the map correctly leads to good things. Spectre started playing bottom, Mars roamed on mid in an aggressive fashion. Guess what? They found kills, they took good fights, they're back in the game. I think people underestimate the value of what, like, leading up to the fight, where you were playing. You know, it just sets it up for good engagements, and this is like an opposite of the script for Beastcoast. Win the lanes, lose the fights. That's a bit odd to me, but based on the drafts themselves, Spectre, Phoenix, Mars is quite the overwhelming team fight. So it kind of makes sense this game. Centaur is going for a Blink Dagger, still 1,500 gold off. Terrorblade doing a little bit of split pushing top, just with the illusions. SNY Dragonlance.
Is BKBs what Beastcoast are kind of waiting for before they can
Lena's
take
most
these fights?
importantly, honestly. I think hers is super important. That's the problem with this hero. I think she really just can't play Dota at this stage in the game. Looked so effective early, got a couple crucial kills, and now just sitting underneath a tier 2. This hero can't farm because she's scared. Terrorblade is getting mid tower, though, so overall this is good for Beastcoast, I think. Nothing's happening except for them getting a free tower. Ward sees all of FURIA. They are going to deward it, but they are completely aware that all of FURIA is here. Sexy Fat also going for that Blink Dagger. Immediate smoke before the Blink Dagger's up. They don't want to wait. They have Haunt, they have Egg, they have Arena. It's go time.
Yeah, they know these BKBs aren't here yet on the Beastcoast side, so they want to take a fight wherever they can. It's going to be Whisper Centaur. It kind of runs into a few,
he sees him on the ward, so he knows the smoke.
Yep. And they should back off. Leeless, uh-oh, he gets the D-ward and gets out of the Mars Arena. Okay.
He knew they were coming. He was giving him the sidestep.
They may try and take this fight. They don't have a blink on a Centaur. They could perhaps go on this Phoenix who had been silenced up. The silence is going to wear off, so at least
he has no dive.
Duster can pop some spells now if he wants to, but yeah, he doesn't have anything except the Supernova, which he's not going to go for.
I was surprised when the Phoenix had silence that they didn't stampede global there and just kill him. I thought that was worth it, but maybe not.
Yeah.
You're 100% going to kill that Phoenix there. So
even the Stampede Hoofstomp might have been enough since Phoenix was
I'm just
silenced.
fearful that like the Mars would arena on top of you, or not arena, but Spirit.
Okay. Yep. And I think they understand, like, hey, they're the ones who have a strong team fight, so even though they messed up the Mars Ultimate, we still maybe need to be careful and farm these BKBs.
Yeah, that's probably the idea. They're probably content with nothing happening, so it's probably good discipline, if you ask me now that I've reflected upon my poor thinking there.
Got to stick to the team comms, which is probably, hey, farm out items, then fight.
It's a good discipline, honestly. The outposts are coming out split. 50-50 engagement at the top rune. Whisper walking up to it, maybe paying the price, getting whipped.
Has a Stampede, but doesn't want to go for it, at least not yet. Hoof stomp and walk out once again.
The zoning arena.
That's one
I'm
man's
all about
name
the
for
zoning arenas, honestly.
Yep.
His spears in arenas have been a bit off the mark this game from Sexy Fat.
He had a very impressive Mars performance the other day, and not perhaps showing up with the same accuracy in this game just yet, but plenty of time to redeem himself, as FURIA need it if they want to bounce back. This is game 2 of the best of 3, which they are down a game in, and things are going to get tougher for Sexy Fat once these BKBs come online, both of which are just about completed. TB has his, and Lena not far off.
You can tell that Beastcoast is just playing the map better. They got like that free tier 1 mid fight going on.
As you say that, BKB gets delivered, immediately pops it as it arrives. With the global silence being used, he's still being drained here. He's going to turn, look for a Sunder. Throws it out on Murdoch. They're going to stampede forward as well. He can't really right-click a whole lot with the Lena ultimate, the Laguna Blade. They do secure the kill. Duster trying to unsuccessfully heal him back up. He's forced just to dive himself out back to safety. And, well, that's the BKB timing. Perhaps not quite what they had in mind, but hey, that works. TB ends up being the perfect bait with his BKB flying in.
What I was going to say is they're just like losing tier 1s for free on the map. Right there, nothing happened, and then bottom lane just died to creeps. And
it was after like mid lane the same thing happened, right? When Hector took tier 1 mid.
Yeah, it's just when there's no fight going on, Beast Coast is just gaining a net worth advantage. And this is why playing the map is so important. Just because it doesn't matter if you win a fight, if you're fighting an uphill battle the rest of the game. Nice Blink Arena. Holy crap, the snipe.
RDO sniped it. Yep, Spectre has an Aegis, and this is something that looked like a terrible fight for Beast Coast. They're all trapped in the Roshan pit, the arena surrounding them. They've still managed to take out the Phoenix to start the fight off, but the chase is on. FURIA.
He's wailing on him.
Yep, the Metamorph wearing off. K1, it's time to run. BKB coming up in 3 seconds, though. Gets cookied, kind of in the wrong direction here. Now he turns with the BKB. He's going to turn and fight. He does some right-click damage here. He looks to bring down the Mars and the Spectre. Great ballsy play. K1, even without the Metamorph, understanding he can turn and fight. Yep. Is he going to look to re-engage? I feel like Hector may feel confident, may feel like he has it in him, but he backs off into the base, lets the Centaur go down. Great Roshan salvage by FURIA to snipe the Aegis there.
Yeah, they do lose it, but nonetheless, that was about the best case scenario FURIA could ask for. I like that they decided to contest despite having 2 heroes dead. They still had the Haunt plus the Arena combo. I don't know if this was a bit of poor positioning from Beast Coast. I don't think he should be allowed to blink in like that.
Looked like Lelis was trying to position outside the pit to the north, but wasn't able to cancel any of those blinks in.
Well played by Sexy Fat there, making up for his missed arenas and spears so far.
They just timed it perfectly, right? They didn't actually have vision in there, or?
Yeah, no, they had no vision. That was just ballsy jump in. They might have had Spectre Dagger. I don't think so, though.
Beast Coast did end up still having an okay fight, and they took away that Spectre Aegis immediately, thanks to the BKB coming back up on K1. We'll see where this game goes from here, as BKB is being completed now on Lena as well as Razor, so a lot more BKBs in the mix, and Beast Coast feel like they're going to give them the impetus they need to make a big play here. They're smoked up in the enemy jungle. They're hunting around, trying to start a fight, especially with this Spectre Horn on cooldown. They want to try to see what they can get.
Yeah, Lena, now that she has this BKB, feels much better in these, like, not just dying instantly. And Terrorblade, he is tough to bring down before he sunders. I think that's the problem that FURIA is going to be facing as this game goes on. I don't really know how you reliably burst him, especially with the global behind. So you can't really commit onto him. And at the same time, he kills you. So it's kind of an odd scenario here. They are just forcing it.
There's
Even though
no
they have all their
blip,
cooldowns.
Beastcoast feel confident in this
Nice
one. He
BKB.
BKBs, dodges the spear, and uh-oh, it's Murdoch. Gonna have to BKB just to get the hell away from the TB. Breaking the link. TB still with a lot of stolen damage, so he's gonna be a little bit careful. The Spectre gonna go jumping in with a haunt here. Whisper gets pulled away by the Cookie, and Chris Luck on the front lines with the BKB. Lena is deterring Furia from engaging. Mortimer's kisses from Schofield in the trees, getting stunned up by a Nyx Carapace, and now he is on the run. K1 still has Metamorph up, and that's gonna scare off Furia.
That's going to allow him to farm faster. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
TP's away.
Just a
Absolutely
classic 0
nothing
for 0.
happened. Yeah, absolutely nothing happened. A lot of things happened, but effectively nothing. Paladin Sword for Lena. Terrorblade would love that out of him. I'm sure he's going to take it. That's pretty sick, honestly. He's going for the Butterfly Satanic build and getting that Paladin Sword prior. Spider Legs as well. Some sick neutral items coming out for Beastcoast.
Not so sick positioning from the silencers. He's going to get picked off going for a little D-ward, it looks like.
Going for the good old... I think he might have misplaced that Observer. Maybe that was purposeful?
Probably meant to do the Sentry one.
Yeah.
Swap back over.
Classic stuff there.
Yeah.
Nick scouting out is under a Sentry. He reveals it by reflecting him. I don't know if that was good. I didn't see what led up to that, but he does almost have the Butterfly on Terrorblade. Sending the courier out now. No Metamorphosis, but both teams heavily cooldown dependent. The Egg as well as the Arena Haunt on one side, and the Meta as well as the Global on the other.
Yeah, often it's like you use your big ultimates and suddenly you got to play cautiously, but because, like you say, there's big ultis on both sides, as long as both teams are committing them, then suddenly it's kind of this
I
period
think
where
Radiant is beneficial, or benefited from both teams using
Okay.
them all. Sorry for
just because
interrupting you
they're
a bit
going
there,
to
but-
farm more, or because they can actually take a fight?
I'm saying I think Terrorblade is the strongest hero if no abilities are on like available.
Gotcha.
Assuming he's already meta.
Yep.
Like he's in meta form.
Yeah, charging forward, Blink, Hoofstomp, they're going to
That's a
catch
dead
the Phoenix here. Yeah, but they bring him down, and they also got the stun onto the Nyx Assassin, who does get the Carapace off, but don't see an out for him as he gets picked off. And Meta's going to be coming up pretty soon. They could just look to push high ground off of this. Tanking the tier 2 mid tower here. K1 saying, I don't care about this tier 2.
Definitely flexing a bit there.
Yeah.
Taking literally no damage.
And Centaur is probably like, dude, I want those retaliate charges. What are you doing?
That's a good plan.
I think he actually ran away
Yeah,
because
he's like,
Centaur was
"Oh,
getting annoyed.
my bad."
Yeah.
Pretty sure he was just like BMing there and just
Yeah.
like, and he's like, dude, can you let me freaking get my stacks, please? Thank you.
He's trying to BM and he ends up just griefing.
Yeah. Yeah, it always comes full circle.
They got the back lines here, but unfortunately there is a BKB on Lena. He's just going to turn and fight. The Arena still trapping in a few of these heroes, the supports. Lilith on the front lines. He's not in too much trouble. K1 losing a lot of his damage to the static link here with the BKB Razor. He's not dying to the Mortimer's Kisses. Does look like Razor's going to be forced back with the low health he's on. And TB, cookie forward, gets off the Sunder. That's going to keep him alive. And RDO Spectre is in all sorts of trouble because of it. K1 gets a double kill, and they've found a second and a third, forcing out these buybacks here. Mars and Phoenix both coming back into the game, but the Rax is already going to be going down. Butterfly getting delivered as well for the Terrorblade, as we are going to see a quick second lane attempted as well. They swing their way towards bottom. It looks like backdoor protection has maybe kicked in for a second, but nope, it's gone now. As with 4 racks down, this game gets very difficult for Furia, who still have 40 seconds to wait for Spectre to respawn.
Surprised Terrorblade took the Orb of Destruction rather than the Paladin Sword. I think he does enough damage. I thought the Sustain was going to be the name of the game for him here. I actually went for the full Hurricane Pike. Usually you don't see Dragonlance anymore. I think it's kind of owned this game, though, because you want to be able to hit the Egg from longer range. You want to be able to hit the Razor from longer range. A lot of things in terms of positioning about the Dragonlance really nice this game.
Static linked every fight.
Yeah.
I think that's like the biggest part of it, too. I feel like every fight I'm seeing him with like -200, and Razor just literally is just BKB static linking him, not actually killing anyone, but just soaking up his damage.
Yeah, they didn't nerf Force Staff at all as a core item. Yeah, they only nerfed it in terms of Force Staffing your teammates. So Hurricane Pike, perfectly fine for a core that naturally can benefit from its active as well as the range.
Is there a Hail Mary play here? What can Furia do?
just round it up with the ultimates. Haunt on cooldown for 5, Egg coming up at about the same time. They're going to go again. I think they just have to make it happen. Kobold Foreman that got in from the shovel gives them a repair kit. That was kind of interesting.
Okay.
That's positive.
They're going to go in. Here we go. The Mars Arena going to spear one. It gets the Snapfire down fairly low here, but Schofield, he's fairly tanky. He's got those Greaves. He's going to cook his way out of there. Sun's up the Spectre as well. The Razor charging forward with the BKB, but it looks like Beastcoast able just to kind of disengage, only loses support. TB goes running back in, gets Yuled up, does not have Metamorph. It comes back up now, and this is where the fight is going to swing back Beastcoast's way. They've already taken out 3. They're looking for more. This TB is just too damn strong. He's on a godlike streak, and GG is called. Beastcoast take out FURIA.
I'm disappointed. Eternal Envy would have 100% sundered his silencer there and saved him. Can I just say that right now?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit